Nagas, take a walk with me. I'll take you into a download. Natural, physical. When in divine guidance and divine pretense, and your energy is subsequently at a whole nother level. And you might have heard me speak of this in another video, not to this, but to this particular idea. Everything in the universe has been done right at least once. Whether or not I have how many times it's been done, I know it's been done right at least once. Right meaning in the way of the divine creation. People want to subsequently tell us that technology is the new wave. You want to believe that technology is the highest form of science over anything because it's progressive. I'm going to tell you a secret, and this is what they do not want you to know. The reason for the fast explosion of information that they had taken over thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years ago was because if you were left dormant with nothing to your disposal, if you were just left normally just outside of nature, everything that you created would manifest it back into you. The biggest misconception to all of the people when slavery took some form of particular value and it got transmuted into the actual directity, meaning, i.e., to badger or to beat down, to belittle. The word nigga, the syllables of that word, even though it's said derogatory, they were raising the people without knowing that they were raising the people. Even though the world seen that used in a negative connotation, that fire that was placed on that word, it burned in divine pretense. So the more they spoke it in a negative way, the more it put prowess on the reality of truth. You can't walk around and say, king, you a king, stupid king, dirty child of God. You can't do that. It just don't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? But that's unbeknownst to other people. Trying to be belittling, put them in their own turmoil. Thus, the raise of the people. Someone studied that though, and they didn't speak about it. Ultimately, the action to be able to create for the need and value of whatever sustainable situation was innate with the original people. Creation is just what you are. You're a creator from creation, which gives you the etheric aspect to reach into the ether and create whatever you think individually, whatever shines through you as a particular jewel. Now, they knew this. We have already mastered the extension value. What do I mean by this? Being able to extend our spiritual aspect to the tips of our existence. And that, thus, explained the spiritual notion into connection with everything. It allowed us to communicate, visualize, harmonize, mentalize everything with physical and universal principle. Now, knowing that it grew from a physical attribute to a spiritual attribute at one time and indifferent, that was the charge. It's like, well, if we re-give them these things before they remember that they created them, would that stop the growth of them doing it for themselves? You can also look at that in the hindsight or a cross reference to say, well, if we show them what they create, will they create even more? But see, if that was the case, you would have been told already, right? You would have been told you were reincarnated every 2,500 years and whatever have you that comes with that. Everything would have been laid out to make that transition easier instead of trying to trick you into recreating a world for someone else. And that's the big secret. Your energy is being used to recreate this world. Not for your benefit, though. You can't be an extension of magnificence and don't do magnificent things. You can't be an extension of all creation and don't do all creative things. You are being herded and cattled and used and manipulated to satisfy the energy that you put out towards what you think equals the value to divine pretense within you. So you're selling yourself short, basically. And we as a culture, we cannot continue to do these things. Knowing the plan at hand will allow you to alleviate yourself from the game, so therefore you can get back to the structure. You know what you want to do, you just ain't got enough time to put into it. Everything else seems to be or poses to be more important. So we make excuses for the world. We make excuses for the world. Forget that divine created you, right? How disrespectful. But yet you're still like a crying baby. You completed this already. There's no need to cry. You just got to go back to believing that you did this already. But then the energy that's opposing you is babies who act like they're spoiled because they can't do what you can do yet. So it's like if you had a baby that can't do grown up things, they're gonna play in the sand and make sandcastles. Let them. It's not that magnificent. It's not nothing that we haven't done already. But the barrier has to be broken. Some of us was left behind to materialize in their own aspect, which caused our demise. Or I can't say demise because we can't be passed on. Detriment. Every time, again and again and again, because you don't remember. I ain't gonna hold you. But you gotta know that you are an extension. I got another one. I got a part 3 coming to this right here. It's gonna get deep. We're gonna go way out into space. And a lot of people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but we're gonna go out in space. We're gonna tap into the divine, a download divine showed me. And I'm gonna try to illustrate it the best way I can. But you already know the vibes. Stay tuned. I'll bring that to y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna work on it tonight. I ain't. So incremental science part 3 coming at you soon. Know that you're great. You've always been great and you always done things. The reason why you're here now is because you did it already before. You just don't remember. You keep doing it again. It's okay. Don't follow nobody. Follow you, the best part of it. NAGA.